bad, guys.
Or are we doing this sort of warm up?
No.
Simon's ready for the weekend.
Hello everyone. Welcome to another video where we add value to your life. We're fortunate enough to be sitting with Kristine, one of our experienced psychologists with pain, working with people with chronic pain and pain. Welcome, Kristine.
Thank you.
Can you tell us, you've worked with a lot of people with pain. You have some experience there.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what people with chronic pain and pain issues come into therapy to work on and what they're struggling with?
So I think one of the biggest thing around people experiencing chronic pain coming to talk about is that sense of loss, a sense of loss of who they were previously because pain has interfered so much with their life and they're not managing it well. So they've stopped doing things that are important to them, that gives them meaning and purpose in life. They've stopped doing activities that they enjoy, so they don't get opportunities to have positive emotions. And as well as they start getting frustrated because the pain is becoming so big in their lives, they feel less, they become smaller in their life because what they want to do, what they love to do, has taken a bit of a backseat because of that pain. And so they start feeling anxious, about the future, about whether or not they're gonna be able to wake up the next day and be able to do what they want. They're not too sure about are they gonna experience a lot of pain or a little pain, and how that's going to allow them to achieve or not achieve things that they want to achieve. And so that really impacts on their mood. It brings them down even more, and they actually start removing themselves from people that they love. So impacting relationship from that they have with their friends, their family, because they're constantly struggling with their pain. So there's a lot going on for them, and it really impacts them in all different aspects of life. Yeah.
Kristine, as you're talking, I'm thinking about myself and a back injury that I have, and I can relate to some of the challenges and experiences you talked about some of the clients you see have. I remember when I was 19 and first diagnosed with my back injury and the pain that I had, which I still have, but I manage better now. I remember struggling managing it back then and not knowing what to do. So I can really relate.
Oh, wow. Simon, I'm thinking, how much it would benefit our viewers if you were keen to do a bit of a role play to kind of bring us back to when you were 19 and looking at what were some of the things that you were struggling with, and we can talk a bit more about what it stopped you from doing, and that would give our viewers a chance as well to show how I would approach treatment with someone who comes in with chronic back pain. Right. And where we would go on that journey in managing the pain.
Great. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to play me at 19 now.
Yeah, sure.
So I've just had my 19th birthday, Kristine, last week, and I've just been diagnosed with this back injury. It's called a bilateral pars defects. The two bones on either side of the spinal column break and they fracture and they never really heal, and it means there's disc instability, so I have bulging disc, flattened disc, and down the neural column I get sciatica and back pain and leg pain. That's a lot.
That is a lot. We talk about it in such medical terms as well. It's almost as though that's all you have in terms of understanding your pain, Simon.
Well, it only got diagnosed like 6 months ago, and I guess that's how somebody explained it to me, what's going on. It just hurts a lot, like I'm in a lot of pain.
How did that feel when you learned about the reasons behind your pain, what was causing it, and
Well, it didn't change how painful it was. Still hurt just the same.
still hurts the
I
same.
still feel just as frustrated. I still think it's really unfair that at 19 I've been told I've got to live with this back injury. I'm first thing I did was look it up on the internet and work out whether I should have surgery, or I asked the doctors what can I do about it. You know, they prescribed some pain medication which I still use to help me get to sleep, and sometimes if I'm in a lot of pain I just take it because it reduces the pain a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm hearing you're trying to find more information, you're given options to try to get rid of that pain, but I'm hearing that there's that sense of frustration around it, that increased frustration as to what you need or what you need to do to get rid of the pain, and sometimes you take medication to try to get rid of the pain to help you sleep. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, short term it kind of reduces the pain enough sometimes to help me sleep or do a few more things around the house, but in the end it's just, yeah, I'm frustrated. There doesn't seem to be any answers. You know, I'm really struggling with this pain.
And I'm hearing that sense of, of that down when you sighed. It sounds like it's really impacted on you, your mood.
Yeah, I definitely feel down at times. I just have a sense of hopelessness. Like, yes, I'm frustrated that's happened to me and it's unfair, but I'm also like, this is really affecting my life. Like, it's getting me down. I'm no longer, bowling in the nets with cricket anymore because it hurts my back to bend my back. I pretty much stopped playing rugby.
Wow.
Like, taking the rest of the season off because it just hurts too much. Yeah, sometimes I don't bother going out and seeing friends for like parties or going to the restaurants, whatever. So just like my back's gonna hurt. I just feel down, unmotivated, is this what my life is gonna be now? Like, I feel like less of a man, not as strong, I can't lift things at work. I work in a bottle shop and I can't lift heavy cases of wine or whatever. I can't go out the back and move the kegs around anymore, so I feel weak, and all my mates are much stronger and they're able to do more than me.
So I'm hearing that
It's
it's really changing, the way you're living life. Things that you enjoy, exercise, that has to stop because of the pain. You can't play cricket, you can't play rugby. You're saying that it affects you at work where you can't lift things at the bottle shop, which then means that it's impacting on your ability to do your job well.
Yeah.
You're also starting to become anxious about how the pain will flare up possibly if you're out with friends, and how you're gonna manage.
Well, yeah, I didn't say that, but you've guessed right, and I guess because you work with a lot of people with pain, you kind of know that if I'm having a lot of pain, I would be anxious, and I am anxious about it. I worry about it, like, what's tomorrow going to be like? Is it going to be, moderate pain, or is it going to be severe pain, like, if it's severe, I'm not going to be able to do as many things, so I do worry about it the night before. I even worry about it during the day, because it can change any moment.
So
It's worse, I might just bend over to pick something up and,
Ow.
Yeah.
That's really gotten you in a bit of a spot right here, talking about how it's really changed the way you see yourself. Even, you mentioned in passing that you feel less of a man just there. It's really impacted on your identity as a person of who you are. I'm hearing that.
Yeah, that's true.
So, if we had a magic pill that you could take and it was no longer a problem, so the pain is there, but it's not interfering with life as how you're talking about it now, what would be different? What would you be doing differently?
So you're saying if the pain was no longer a problem, how would my life be different?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be worrying about it so much, so I'd just be getting on with my life like I used to. I wouldn't avoid so many things. Like, I just don't do stuff I used to do now. So I'd be running more, I'd be swimming again, I'd be probably playing cricket again, bowling. Yeah, I'll be seeing more friends, going out more. Yeah.
Okay, alright. So I'm hearing if the pain was no longer a problem, life, you would want to do activities that you normally do. So a lot of exercise, cricket, swimming, bowling, but also socializing with friends, feeling less anxious. Things that are important to you, I'm hearing. Yeah. So, one of the things I'm wondering as well is that in terms of what are some of the kind of things that you've tried to do when the pain gets really bad to try to manage or cope with that pain?
Sometimes I just go and lie down in bed.
So you're going down, lying in bed.
Just try not to move. Or I'll take some pain medication and lie down in bed. I'll do both, one or the other, both. Well, sometimes I'll drink beer.
Yeah,
in the evening, like if it's after 6, I'll just have a couple of beers. Like I've already had pain medication during the day, but that's kind of wearing away. Don't want to take any more, so I don't want to become reliant on it. So I just have a couple of beers, and usually I just feel a bit more relaxed.
You're feeling a bit more relaxed after a few beers if the pain medication has worn off.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. And is that working for you?
Well, in the short term, yeah, it feels a bit better. But then, I don't know, the pain comes back. It doesn't go away for long. It's just a couple of hours, and then it's back just as bad as before. Sometimes it even feels worse than before. It's almost like, I don't know, the alcohol makes it worse somehow, even though it feels better. It makes it better first. Yeah.
Alright.
I don't know.
No, Simon, one of the things I'm sensing is, you are trying to control that pain of yours. You're trying to move it to the side, and it's not, the things that you're doing is not really working. It's working in the short term, but in the longer term, you don't feel that it's in control. That you're not in control of it, and it's, it's causing you to avoid things that you normally would like to engage in. And one of the things is that that's definitely where, I can come in and, through therapy, we can work on strategies and skills to help you around that, to get you back to doing things you enjoy, things that are meaningful and important for you.
That would be good.
Yeah, that would be good.
How are we going to work together to do that, do you think? Like what?
Yeah, so, I mean, one of the things that, I'm hearing from you is that the pain is starting to, really stop you, almost physically. It's almost as though the pain is there physically to stop you from doing things, and you're getting quite, there's a lot of things that your mind are telling you about what you can do and what you can't do. So I'm hearing, that your mind's telling you a story about yourself, that, that frustrated self, about what you can and can't do, what the old self could do, and how much you want to be that old self with that pain. I'm also hearing that bit of you that's saying, that this is unfair. So, your mind's telling you this story about how unfair that this has to happen to you at the age of 19, when you're at your prime of adulthood, enjoying life. And so, a couple of things that definitely we can learn more about, kind of stories that your mind is telling you.
Okay.
Being more aware of those stories, noticing those stories, and how it's impacting you to start with. Okay. And then, we would learn to do that through some mindfulness skills, to observe the way your mind is talking to you, the thoughts. And through that, we'll learn how to sit with uncomfortable feelings and thoughts.
You mean like sit with my frustration, sit with that unfairness thoughts, or make room for like my feeling down about my pain.
Yeah, and making room for that uncomfortable feelings. So, talking about the worry, the anxiety about whether the pain's gonna flare up, and learning to not get pushed around by those difficult thoughts and feelings, and also the pain. Learning to sit with the discomfort of that pain.
So this sounds like a lot of hard work, Kristine. Sitting with my pain, sitting with the uncomfortable feelings and thoughts that come with my pain, frustration, unfairness, anxiety. How is this going to help me?
So, Simon, I'm hearing that you're not doing things that are important to you anymore.
Yeah.
And when we spoke about how life would change if pain was no longer a problem, what I was trying to understand is what's important to you. And you said, going out with, socializing more was important to you, engaging in activities, learning how to sit with difficult feelings, thoughts, and the pain, the hard work around learning how to do that can actually help you pursue things that are important to you, to look at what's important in life, things that you want to do in future, and to be able to pursue that despite having all the pain. So living with that pain, as part of moving forward and having purpose in life, rather than struggling with the pain, trying to constantly get rid of it, and spending your energy into this hard work.
So I'm getting caught up in the struggle, and by making room for these difficult thoughts and feelings, perhaps I can manage them better, so I can be more able to pursue things that matter to me and be more present with those things, to enjoy them more, not get too caught up in my frustration or my pain or worry.
Definitely, yes, definitely being in the present, not getting caught up about your future, about where you are going in terms of how you're going to live life with that pain.
Okay, that makes sense. What else would we do?
So, we'll definitely look at how you can, what kind of activities you want to do. And so what we'll do is we'll start listing all the different activities you want to do and begin doing again to restart, and then looking at exposing yourself to those activities just a bit by a bit, so pacing you to do it, so that you can actually pursue those activities on both days that are good and bad, because you've paced yourself over time. So doing, sports, doing...
So you mean like a graded exposure? Like gradually I'll expose myself to more and more activities, because I am a bit scared about doing more things. So you're saying bit by bit I could increase these things so I could build my confidence and feel more confident doing them with the pain.
Absolutely. So, learning how to do that, and I'll be here supporting you, cheering you on, and looking at how we can proceed. So, there'll be days where you feel that it's a struggle, and I'll be here pushing you on and saying that, what's the best way that we can move around. Do we have to hold the activity at X amount of minutes for the next few weeks, so that you start feeling comfortable that you can do the activity for say 10-20 minutes before we move on.
Okay.
Alright, and that would also allow your muscles to actually get stronger over time, rather than overexerting yourself, and that allows you to manage the pain. So you're keeping the pain at a level that you're comfortable with while doing things that are important to you. So that would involve as well other kind of physical activities such as stretching, activities like swimming, or even yoga, to actually get you doing a bit more light stretching, to strengthen your muscles so that you can actually engage in
Well, that's what my physio said I should be doing, is yoga and stretching and gentle running. So What about like getting to sleep at night and my alcohol and medication? Do we need to look at that, or what's
So-
that about?
Yeah, so the over reliance on medication, we're getting caught up in the story there is that medication is the only way to manage your pain, and so really, being able to reduce the medication use as the only resort, it will run parallel to the activities that we'll be introducing you to bit by bit.
Is there a psychological strategy I can learn instead of using medication to reduce my pain, where I can cope with my pain in a way?
So
Learn to be almost like, so I've got high pain but it's not bothering me so much?
yeah, so skills around mindfulness will allow you to sit with that pain and to observe, how the pain is impacting you, and
Great.
to make space. So learning how to sit and make space for that. So looking at acceptance, skills, strategies to manage.
And that's basically me learning to deal with my pain better.
Yeah, and to not get caught up in the kind of stories that your mind is telling you about what you have to do about your pain in that moment.
Great.
So, looking at sometimes even distracting yourself just briefly so you can sit with it, or even doing having a warm bath to manage to reduce the pain, the intensity of the pain.
So, and I saw this psychologist once who said I need to be doing these grounding exercises where I connect to the present moment, like what I can see, hear, touch, to bring my awareness, like almost like my pains, my hands, bring it outside my pain so I can be present and less focused just on the pain. Is that something we might do?
So definitely something we'll do, because as we learn that we are getting caught up with our stories that our mind is telling us, grounding strategies to draw us back into the present will be important to help us along in that journey. We'll be looking at how you can use the grounding strategies in everyday life. So anytime when you feel that the pain has come in front of you and is starting to obstruct you in terms of what you want to do, it stops you from doing what you want. Bring yourself back in the present will help you ground yourself and reduce that sense of being suffocated by your pain.
Suffocated, great. And is there anything on the internet or something where I can learn this mindfulness stuff?
Yeah, so definitely there's plenty of so if you jump on our website, at Simon Tomanis and Associates, there are plenty of videos, e-learning videos that the other clinicians here have worked on. So like Dr. Vina, she's filmed videos on how to do mindfulness in everyday tasks. So you can definitely watch that and learn that on your own time as well, or bring that back into session and you can have a talk and build on that skill. Simon, the clinical director of this practice, has also filmed videos around how to manage stress and the effects of exercise, or cardiovascular activity, the effects of that on our health, not only just our health but our mental health as well, the positive benefits around it.
Great. And clicking outside of my role and coming back to me as a clinical director, there are some great videos on our website, guys, around story work that we've done around anxiety with Angelica, our practice manager, around stress. We've done story work, we've done diffusion work, acceptance work. So these are some of the psychological skills, of course, Kristine, myself and the other psychologists here use with our clients. Kristine, I just want to say thank you for today. That was, really felt cared for and nurtured by you while I was talking about my pain, which I still am managing in my life. And at the age of 19, I wish I had somebody like you to see, who has experience in working with pain, and that treatment planning there was fantastic. I would have engaged with you at that age and really learned how to manage my pain better back then. It took me a lot longer without a psychologist to do that. So I can see the value that you'll be adding to to your clients when they want to come in to work on chronic pain or pain. So, thanks
Thank
so
you
much.
very much, Simon.
Thanks, Kristine. Good to work with you.
Thank you very much.